Hi, I'm Hans Sperling. I'm a business lawyer. I'm going to be speaking at the International Business Success Blueprint Conference here in Los Angeles, California, December 2nd through 6th, 2015. The attendees of the conference are going to be entrepreneurs and business people who are interested in upping their revenues, upping their growth, and perhaps moving into new markets and just generally expanding their business. Of course, when you do that, you can enter into new risks and new challenges that you want to anticipate and prepare for to avoid anything really bad happening. So I thought along those lines I would talk about a kind of a scenario. It's sort of a composite, if you will, of different situations that I've seen or heard about happening through the years to give you an idea of the kind of risks that there are out there. So here's the scenario. 5 friends get together and they have a business idea. The business idea basically has 2 components. It has a software, be a unique software for that business that it's going to use, proprietary, and then it has some sort of human aspect to it. People are going to be, sitting at desks and making stuff happen. So they need a little bit of money to do this venture. So the 5 friends get together, and it turns out that they have a couple friends of their families who have a little money that they're interested in investing somewhere other than the stock market or treasury bonds or something. So they managed to get about $500,000 worth of money from, let's say, 3 different investors who are friends of various of the 5 business people's family. Then they discover that things are taking a lot longer. It's quite a bit more involved than they want. In particular, the software is taking a long time. But they discover that they can hire a programmer outside the U.S. to write the software for them much, much more cheaply. And that person will just sit and grind out this software, and it'll be done very quickly at a very reasonable price. And so they go ahead and they do that. So until then, everything looks pretty good. Everything's going smoothly. That's where it starts to go south. The programmer in the other country decides that they might be able to make better use of that software or that idea that they've been developing, and they go ahead and basically just steal it. They develop their own product very similar to the concept of our 5 friends, but the programmer abroad is able to get their product to market faster. And basically the entire investment and all of the effort that's been spent by the 5 friends is wasted. Their product is no longer competitive because it's late to market. At this point, those 3 investors decide that they'd like to get their money back. This isn't going to work out. The 5 friends tell them, well, look, we're really sorry it didn't work out. We don't know what we could have done to avoid it. But in any case, we've spent the money, and we don't have it to give back to you in any case. And we don't think we should have to, although we regret what happened. That's the risk of doing business. Problem is that the 5 friends didn't comply with securities law when they took the investment from these 3 investors. And the consequence of that is that the law is going to force them to give back the money. Problem is, they already spent the money, so they're in a real jam. The second problem they're going to run into is that since they didn't set up a company, or in some way, by company I mean a corporation or LLC, they didn't in some way define what their business relationship is legally. The law assumes that they are general partners, and general partners have what we call joint and several liability, which basically means that any of the partners are legally and financially responsible for what any of the other partners did, as long as it was part of the business venture. So those 3 investors can go and try to sue any or all or any part, some of the 5 friends. Probably they're going to sue the ones who have the most money or the most assets, and then get that money back from them. And then those of the 5 friends are going to have to go back and try to recover some portion of that money from the other 5 partners, 5 friends. So obviously this is a huge loss for the 5 friends, but they have a second product idea that they've been working on in the background, and that one they never turned over to the foreign programmer, so they're going to go ahead and try to develop that one. But couple of the 5 friends have just pretty much had it with this. They think they can do better on their own. Maybe one of them gets a kind of straight day job, and they leave. Now the problem you run into is this other product, the second product that they were developing, the idea, maybe if there's any software that goes with that, or any other research that they've done, market research. Who owns that? Does that stay with the remaining 3 partners, or the other 2 leave, can take it with them, or do each of the 5 have equal rights in it? Can any of the 5 prevent the other 4 from using it? All of these issues can come up and can be very real issues, can cause real financial loss. That's the bad news, obviously. The good news is that a lot of these problems can be avoided. If you deal with them up front, if you have a business lawyer who is accustomed to anticipating those kinds of problems coming up, who's seen them come up in the past, you can set up your company, set up the situation with your rights, we call intellectual property, make sure all your contracts are done correctly, head off risks so that these kind of things don't happen, and so that you have your fighting chance in the marketplace to make your product go and succeed in the marketplace. So these are the kinds of issues that I'm going to talk about at the International Business Success Blueprint Conference in Los Angeles, December 2nd through 6th. And you can get more information at businesssuccessblueprintconference.com. Thank you for your time, and I hope to see you at the conference.